Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Masses32210. Well, this is the third part on this series of this racing go-kart build. Let me show you a couple of unique things that I've got done. Well, the other day I was so excited. I finally had got this axle stripped off. I got a lot of it cleaned up. I was like, cool, let's go ahead, start putting everything on. I wanted to mount it up in the chassis. I wanted to see what it looks like. Well, then I remembered something, the most important thing. Just because you got the gear on there and you got the brake rotor, which still got to bolt this together, thought about the most important thing. I was like, well, let's see where did I put it at. Forgot my keyway. I took this one that had some gunk build up, cleaned it up real quick. Well, when I did my measuring, I've already pre-marked this axle. It was here, and I can't... there's a little black mark there, and there's another one over here that mark out the two bearing holders and the very center so I could get all my measurements. I got measuring and all, and I said, whoop, here's the line right here on this bearing. Got the bearing, the one side of the little holder, my bobber. The problem was the keyway didn't extend all the way to where I needed it. I measured out roughly 3 inches from center of this one with the other plate on out, and I said 3 3¼ just to make sure where I needed the sprocket to mount. Well, here's the issue I ran into. If you notice, you got a keyway cut in here. Right here where this black spot is, this is part of the original keyway. That's where it stopped. I had to actually extend it about 3 3¼ inches. And I got thinking, I was like, man, I have to take this to machine shop. I got to pay a lot of money to have them just stick it on here and it just, zoop, give me a little quick cut. But after a lot of thought, I said, well, if a slow and steady process and use your ingenuity so you're not having to spend more money but do it safely, see if I can get a better look. If you notice, my camera's not exactly catching the best. It goes nice, follows the same contours here straight all the way, and just kind of goes upward, but it's not far off. This is the other end. You see the bit would normally dug in here and just drug straight down. Only difference is my keyway is only going to come up to like right there, so I have a whole entire keyway, so I have a little bit of movement here. Thought that was kind of ingenuity. I wish the camera would have picked it up just a hair better, but and think on the fly, work with what you got. All I did that with simple air cutoff tool. I had stopped by Tractor Supply, picked up a little 5-pack of these wheels. I said, well, let's give it a try. What's the worst case scenario? I'm going to spend about $60 to replace an axle. I got it done. Keyway fits right in, exactly where I need it to. There's no wobble, there's no play. Just turn this 1/4 inch this way. Line that up with this, slip it on, and I won't lock it up until I get that done. As you see, like I said, I've got this other components on or going on. I still have to rotate the axle half a turn and extend the other keyway. So one thing at a time. I'm happy I got this one done. Let me walk you over here. Something else I've gotten done on this. If you notice, this is the right side bearing holder. I cut it right off the go-kart, welded it right on. I've only done this one side and I've done the sides. I need to go through and weld the back side to make sure I have all the strength possible. So that's in. Got it set up for the caliper. If you notice also, I got this thing on sawhorses, much easier to work on. Got a motor plate in, but I decided, again, this is like the second try. Got the motor plate in, piece of aluminum, got it marked where I need the holes, all that. Decided I don't want to use that. Come up with another idea. There's my first attempt. That's my that'd be the killer stainless steel. I decided not to use that. That literally helped catch my little cutoff wheel and sling it out of my hand. So I don't like stainless right now. We're gonna leave that one alone. This one was cool. Only difference is what I decided is I'm gonna actually get a piece of steel so I can just stitch weld it around. And what that will do is, if you notice, here's the back mark where I need to start my hole right here. Not this one, but there's a little hole here, and you see that's the slots cut into the motor. But the problem is, if you also see, I did drew the outline of the engine. And you know, right here I'm not going to have that much room to actually cut, or to actually cut my little groove to move forward. So what I was thinking is to get a groove about this long to help adjust the chain. What I'm going to do is actually do this out of steel instead of aluminum plate, stitch weld it, so with these bolts gone, this one, and I won't be able to use this bolt hole, I won't be able to get the pull and stretch to actually get it to lock the chain tight. Also, if you notice, I pulled that little piece of my bobber down there, got the tower out of my way. I was able to go ahead and rough cut my slot. I used the frame on this side as a guide, and this one I kind of just marked it and just free cut it. But what I'm going to do is take my flap wheel, make a nice straight line, probably just round this corner out, so when I'm putting chain in and stuff, I'm not tearing up my hands. And what else did I cut out? I cut out a piece of metal that was right here. Got the little extra metal out of my way, and that's what I've got done so far. Got racing steering wheel definitely going on. My rear hubs finally came in. I might as well show these suckers off. 4 on a 100mm bolt pattern, I believe. Same as like a Honda Civic rim or most of your little cars. I could actually mount up some car wheels on here. Why not? No, just kidding, guys. What I'm the same bolt pattern as the golf cart wheels that are going to go on the back. Suckers are not cheap. They're pretty well expensive, but they're worth it. Look at that. Solid aluminum. We got that in. I showed off, I think I showed that off in the previous video. We're at Tractor Supply. I got an idler pulley, or I'm sorry, idler sprocket, some chain, couple whatnot. Well, this is just one of the clips I'm adding in this video. Stay tuned. Oh boy, look at this, guys. The first clip I put in this video was done on Friday night. Just doing the update. All day Saturday we worked on this, probably about 4 or 5 hours, just to try to get this axle put in. If you notice, she's got the wheels on the back, sitting up on the sawhorses. Let's see if we can get you all up under here. You notice there's the brake caliper, brake disc, the sprocket, and the hubs and wheels. Everything's on here. She's definitely coming along. Taking a little bit of time, but hey, patience is a virtue. I mean, the better time put in, the better it's going to come out. Something else I'm thinking is after I get the motor mocked up in here, chain ran, think about pulling this body off, and we're going to plate this entire frame. If you notice, it does like a little C design. Think about welding up some flat plate in there so we can go ahead and box this frame in. Try to get it a little stronger. That's how she's looking right now. If y'all can see. Wheels still, I mean, everything's still got to be cleaned up. Got a little dent right there. Got another dent on the other side. But that's the cosmetic stuff. I decided we're going to definitely go ahead. Let's get this junk out of here. We're definitely going to go ahead and I'm going to make a new steel motor plate. That's going to be the next thing right now. Get a steel motor plate, weld it all up, so that way I can go ahead and get that welded in, get the motor, all the holes drilled in, mock it up, get the, with the engine on there, running the chain. Everything looks good, clears the steering. I guess the next step after that is pull the body off, pull the rest of the remaining body, and go ahead and box this frame in for strength. While I'm showing everything off on this mower, look at that there. We got the brake one done. Here is the throttle pedal done. Simple. Reused everything I could off the original mower. The pedal just flipped around. The original mount right here, welded right there, all the way around. Got this little tab. Let's see if we can see it. This little tab doohickey that will hold the throttle cable in place. It will hook up right there. Push on the pedal. Makes your throttle hit. Alright. Well, this is several weeks of little clips. Trying to get some work done. If you notice, kind of put the body on. Using it for a little table, I guess. Got tools all over this place. Right now, I just got done welding up this little bracket. Came off the actual go-kart. And what I did was, this is the actual hole for, what do you call it? The clutch brake pedal that would have ran through here. what I did was I took a small piece of plate, it's a little flat bar that I had left over from my junk bin, I welded it down to the actual foot thing here, and what you can see is, let me see if I'll take it down here. Got the master up in here. It's a piece of angle, just right now just tacked onto the frame until I get the body off, and I'm going to zip it real good there, and I'll flip the frame over and zip it good so it has a double weld. Got the master up under here. I've checked the clearances for suspension and everything, and it will work perfect. I'll just run my 2 lines from here going to the other side to that caliper. And what I did up here was, after I welded that plate, I use this like pin, but this isn't the right size right now. I just use this for mock-up. Somebody had welded this tab already to this brake pedal, so I didn't use the original one, which is back here. I used this one. Got to get all the pins and everything lined up, but this is basically how it works. You'll push that way, it'll pull the brake, it'll pull the master, and it'll apply the rear brakes. Trying to keep this as a simple build, using what I have and what I can get my hands on. She's coming along. Kind of get the idea overall what it's going to look like. Took the headlights out so that way, as I'm getting done, I can slowly start getting ready this thing for paint, disassembly and paint. Started pulling the Murray sticker off here. Got a little tackiness. I'll flap wheel this down, give everything else good sanding. Still kind of picking on colors. I'm not really sure. Definitely got body work here to do. I got a small dent on the other side, which isn't nothing. Let's see. I'll go ahead and send this up on YouTube. Oh, something before I even send this video up, something I forgot to show. If you notice, I didn't like the hole I had cut out in the tower here, and this hole was open. I guess that would have been the access plate on the original mower. So what I did was I cut a piece of flat steel that I had bought, grinded the edges nice and neat, and I had this little original, I guess, dimple you'd call it. It went around and it would slip in through the bottom through this little tab, and had a screw here and there, which I didn't have the actual plate. So after cutting this one, I turned around and welded it all the way around and kind of recut my hole so it looks nicer. And this is where the chain will run right through. I still got, when I do the bodywork, got a couple extra little cut lines right here and here. I'll clean up and make this a little bit more level so it looks a little nicer. That's it for this update. We're definitely getting along. I think as soon it'll be here time to pull this body off and start doing some body work. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Hey, comment below. Thumbs up as usual. Come on, guys. Give me some kind of credit here for doing all this work. And I'll see you on the next video.